Hi there, this is your friend Anna, and the question that I've been getting the most from all of my friends is what are we wearing? This age-old question isn't just about choosing an outfit, it's about choosing how we present ourselves to the world. I created the I Want Her Shoes podcast to dive deep into what it means to dress with intention, whether you're heading to a council meeting or just having a casual day out with your family. Join the conversation as we explore the power of personal style and the decisions that shape our public personas. Put on your favorite pair of shoes and step into my closet. All right, well, welcome back to the I Want Her Shoes podcast, where we explore power, identity, and the women redefining how we live, look, and feel. I'm your host, Anna Anderson, and today's conversation is about something we all experience but rarely understand at a deeper level, our skin. Because skin isn't just about beauty, it's a reflection of what's happening really inside. And today, I'm joined by Karina Moses, founder of Beautology Lab, a clean clinical skincare brand focused on stimulating autophagy. Is that how you pronounce it?
Autophagy.
Autophagy. You'll have to tell us what that is.
Yes.
The body's natural detoxification process to support skin health at a cellular level. But this didn't start as a business idea. It started as something much more personal. Mm-hmm. After years of struggling with inflammation, gut issues, fatigue, and chronic skin conditions, Karina began a journey to heal from the inside out and realized that what she needed simply didn't exist, which is really amazing. That's like how the best products are born. Mm-hmm. So she built it. This is a conversation about healing awareness, biohacking beauty, and redefining what skincare actually means. It's so nice to have you here, Karina.
It's so lovely to be here with you in your beautiful closet.
Well, before we dive into what you've built, can you give us a little bit of background about yourself? Where did you grow up? And if you didn't grow up in Miami, how did you end up here?
Good question. Miami has a lot of expats now, so
yes.
We have an interesting background. I'm Cuban on one side and Lebanese on another.
That's really awesome and exotic.
It is. I was born in Texas, and my whole family was in Miami and other parts of the country, other countries. But I was raised here in Miami since I was 8, so I pretty much grew up in Miami. It was all of my upbringing. And I've been here ever since, other than 2 years in Australia that I spent there. My sister still lives there, so.
What part of Australia?
Sydney.
Oh, that's a fun place.
It's a great place.
That's kind of like, well, I wouldn't say it's a lot like Miami, but
it's similar. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it has a lot of that wellness, holistic part of what I started evolving into. So it has a big piece of my story.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into this journey. Can you take us back to what you were experiencing and what pushed you to start asking deeper questions about your skin?
I think it all starts with a why. For me, ever since I was a little girl, and I can remember, I was dealing with gut issues. I didn't know what they were, but I remember having stomach ulcers since I was 8 years old, fatigue, sugar imbalances, that led into also chronic throat infections, and then even eczema. So for a long time I thought, well, it's my stomach, it's my gut, or it's my skin that was the problem, until I started realizing that I needed to look under the hood. In Australia, being so holistic, they really had a holistic approach to a lot of ailments, and it made me realize, okay, there's other ways. It's not just an antibiotic. So when I started looking under the hood and asking questions, functional medicine is really what changed everything for me and taught me a lot about what was going on inside of my body. And I'll get into that afterwards, but that's really where it turned from me focusing on solving something that I thought was my skin to realizing that I had to do with something deeper and the systems underneath that operate everything.
All right, well, you talk about a lot about healing from inside out, kind of like we mentioned now. So what was some of the biggest shifts that you had to make to start seeing real change?
So, like I said, looking under the hood, functional medicine taught me that I don't detox well. A lot of blood work, a lot of inquiry, a lot of hours spent with a doctor that really, really looks at everything, your genetics, where you came from, etc. And what I learned is that I don't detox well. The essence is that our bodies all have waste and toxins that it accumulates every single day. That could be food, it could be pollution, it could be alcohol, it could be your body's own cellular waste and matter. If we don't remove and detox it, if our body can't do that optimally, then our cells can't function well. And that then leads to a lot of issues in our body as well as our skin, because it shows up in our skin last. So it really was full circle for me, where I realized if my body isn't detoxing well, then that's why I'm having all of these symptoms. So it became, I'm not treating symptoms here. I'm going to treat I'm going to support how the systems function underneath, so that I am removing the symptoms that are coming up.
That's cool. Well, this is, I mentioned this, I couldn't say this word, autophagy.
Mm-hmm. You said it right, autophagy.
Autophagy. Yeah. So can you explain this? Because maybe it goes back to what you're talking about in a way that we can relate to, because I've never heard of this myself. So I'm really interested to learn about it.
Most people haven't. I mean, unless you're in the science field. Autophagy is basically the way that our body internally cleans itself up, right? So because we are accumulating all of this waste naturally, our body needs to remove it, detoxify it. We've heard of detox, but the process is cellular. The process is cellular. It comes from the cellular system. And once it removes it, and then it can actually produce new healthy cells, and that's where the energy comes from. So it's a combination of cell detox and cell regeneration. So that's essentially what autophagy is, and what this cellular process, so that we can remove and regenerate. And that is how our skin regenerates, shows up.
Right. It sounds very important to the skin, especially to aging. And you also say you talk a lot about biohacking skin. What does that actually look like in practice?
So biohacking sounds a lot like we are controlling everything. I want to be clear that it's not about what we can control. It's about what we can support. So if we can support our body's cellular processes, autophagy, energy production, how we detoxify, how we control stress, inflammation, lymphatic drainage and circulation, if we can actually control that part, then we are biohacking our skin. It's not about just surface level. I think that's where the difference comes in. It's about how we can support the systems underneath, so that we do have everything that we need to not have the symptoms that we want to get rid of on our skin. It's not about fixing, it's about supporting.
Got it. No, that's a great answer to that. And you realized there were no products doing what you needed. What was missing, and how did you approach building something different? Because this is such a competitive market and there's so many products. Like, I went to an event yesterday that was a sponsored skincare event of a brand I've never heard of. So, and they've been around for 2 years. So I feel like how did you figure this out? Because it is very different, and I think your approach is very cool too.
The reason for me this was something I wanted to do was because it was part of my story. I knew that this was a crowded market, but for me, I was seeing that the need for products that support the cellular process weren't there. We see a lot of products that tackle hydration, glow, anti-aging, exosomes, spots, hyperpigmentation, collagen, etc. All these things are real, but those are symptoms. And for me, what was missing was the under the hood part that supported the system. So just like I had my challenges with my gut, with brain fog, with fatigue, and then obviously my skin, it was about how do we get underneath and support versus fixing on the surface. So a lot of the products that are out there today are fixing the surface, and they're having surface level conversations, which is real, but I wanted to go a level deeper, because for me, my journey to health was a level deeper than just take the antibiotic, take the medication to take your eczema away, or to clear your throat infection. It was, how do you actually get rid of it? What's going on underneath, so that you're not getting all of those symptoms?
Right.
So the gap for me is products that support the cellular processes and not just hit the surface level as benefits.
Yeah, no, that makes a ton of sense. And there's a lot of noise around clean beauty right now because I feel like that's literally all I see in my feed. How do you differentiate between clean, clinical, and what actually is what works, right? Because, you know, like there's so many different things out there.
Yeah. So clean is important, but clean is about using better ingredients and what these products are removing. So we used to use all these ingredients that were fillers, that were preservatives, and now the clean movement is removing that so that we have healthier products, and that's good. Clinical is about results. So those come with usually clinical tests, proven results, and about, you know, performance, and that's good as well. The space that we are filling is, I would say, clean science, clean cellular, you know, science, and that is about supporting the cellular processes. So the biology is how our body functions, how our cells function. Supporting that is more than just products being clean, having good ingredients, and giving you benefits and results. Because if we can support the systems underneath, then we're hitting all of that. We're hitting clean, we're hitting visible results, but because we're coming from supporting the cellular processes and not just working against the biology of how our body functions.
Okay. And that makes a ton of sense. And maybe you could tell us a little bit about what does your routine looks like and what are some of the non-negotiables in it.
Yeah.
Probably involves some of the Beautology Lab stuff. So why don't you tell us how this all works?
Yeah. So everyone always asks me what's my ritual. So there's non-negotiables for me. Definitely, I'm cleansing my face. I'm adding serum and nutrients that support my skin. And I'm doing some kind of lymphatic drainage, body and face. We have tools, we have topicals that support the detox also. But that lymphatic drainage is really important for circulation, for moving lymph to get that waste out, to get you that, you know, glow and that fresh face. And then also SPF. Really important.
Oh yes, for sure.
So protecting,
especially if you live here,
especially if you live in Miami. It's 90,
several times.
It's 92 degrees outside.
It's crazy.
And it's like
it's only May.
It's only May. I mean, we are just gonna roast. So it is. You know, there are products that are topical that I live by, and you know, moisturizing every night. But really, it is also about allowing your skin to repair. Doing less is more.
Less is more.
Less is more. And
advice.
Consistency.
Yes.
For me, it's about consistency, not intensity. Because you can use 10 products, but if you're only using them once a week, you're not going to see the result. If you're using 3 products and you're being consistent, your body understands the care you're giving it.
Right. And how long does it usually take for a product to work? Because I feel like a lot of people don't even use a product long enough for it to work because they're like, oh, like I'm just going to try this and that, you know, but I
bounce around.
Yeah. So, and then there's nothing that works, right?
You need at least 2 to 4 weeks to see any kind of improvement in your skin from a product. If you have a reaction, okay, stop using it. But otherwise, you should be consistent so that your skin actually gets used to it. Remember, it's a living, breathing system, our skin, right? And our body. So you need to give it enough time and be consistent with everything. Not only our skincare, our exercise, our food, our regimens, because it's all a holistic system that works together. So you can be putting all the skincare products you want, but if you're eating really unhealthy and you're not moving your body, then you're not getting enough of that circulation and flow. So it's all a collective, and it's
kind of like a lifestyle almost, right?
It's a lifestyle. It's about all of it. It's not siloed, and that's what I've learned in my wellness journey, is that you need all of the aspects, like kicking on all cylinders, so that you get one result.
Right. No, and that's a great answer, and I think that's what people should look at it the way that ladies should look at it, and gentlemen, because it has to be a cohesive thing with everything, because you can't just take a bunch of vitamins or put on sunscreen, but then go and have a bunch of junk food or drink a bunch of alcohol, whatever, not get a lot of rest and be stressed. Then you're not gonna see results.
And
right?
look, we need to also live our lives.
Yeah.
Right?
So you can't control everything, right? So if we can't control everything, what would be like the 3 things that would be the most important to control? or if you could.
In terms of lifestyle in general?
Yeah, exactly. Like, as I said, if we can't do all of them at once, right? Like, what would you pick as 3 that you'd be like, that's non-negotiable, and like, that's it for everybody, not just you?
Non-negotiable is move your body, some kind of exercise. The second non-negotiable would be cognizant of what you put in your body. That's not only food,
or just everything, right?
Medication, alcohol. Like, make sure that you understand that even if you're doing a little bit of alcohol, you are doing, I don't know, an 80-20 rule at least, right? And the third non-negotiable would be, for me, a good skin regimen. Like simple, but a good skin ritual that feeds your skin, because it's about inside and outside, and what you're feeding it on both ends.
Yes, no, that's a great answer. Thank you so much. And what has it been like building a brand rooted in science, but also deeply personal? Because I think sometimes it's really hard to share your story, right? And a lot of women choose not to do that, or choose not to be the face of the brand. But I think right now that's really important, because that's how you connect with people as well. So how has that journey been for you?
I'm not a natural outwardly person. I've had to learn that because I carry a story that's important and it's impactful, and because I'm building this brand from my own need to serve other people's needs, I know that it has to be told. It's a story that has to be told, because that's where people, like you said, connect and then make shifts and impacts in their lives. It's been a journey, as everything is. I always say that I'm building a brand, but my brand is also building me.
I love that.
When you're an entrepreneur, you're on a journey with your brand. And as much as I'm building products for people, it's also helping me in my growth journey, because there's challenges and there's roadblocks, and it brings you to your knees sometimes, and it's real. It's a real live breathing entity that needs to be supported, and it takes your courage, your vulnerability, your emotional health, your mental health. Like, it involves all of you in order to build that. And did you ask me like what it takes also in the professional world to build it?
Yeah.
So, speaking of actually how to build a brand, for me, I was building something very different. I wasn't just coming out and wanting to bring a hydration product to the market, or another anti-aging product. It was a project of, how do we make this about cellular processes and products that support the biology of how our systems actually work. And that took a lot of a different mindset. And that was finding chemists and labs that understood what I was saying, that got on board with my vision. And then also the messaging and the education that comes along with that. It's really easy to say this product hydrates your skin because it has, 3 different peptides and all these different types of hyaluronic acid. It's harder to tell the story about, this is how our body works. This is how our cells need to function optimally. And here's the importance of why we need to support the cellular process so that our skin is getting the results we want to see. It's a different story. It's a more difficult story to tell, but it's an important story, because I think as people start to get more aware and educated on wellness and how it's all systems as a whole, we realize that the biology and understanding how our body works is the most important thing.
Right.
So supporting that from the root is how everything is going to show up the way that we want it to show up. It's not surface, but it's under the hood.
Yeah, no, I think that's an amazing approach. And that's what makes you stand out. Well, we talk a lot about style on this podcast, and I have to ask, how has your relationship with your skin impacted how you show up, dress, and feel? Because when I see you, always look fabulous.
Thank you. I've always been someone that cared about how I looked, because I think that that's how you present yourself to the world, and that matters. So for me, if my skin wasn't great, if I have a pimple, if I have some hyperpigmentation, I'm self-conscious about it. I care about my skin. It's important. And for my journey has made me realize that, first of all, we're all human, and we're going to have pimples, breakouts, rosacea, whatever it may be. But also we need to realize that the way that we take care of our skin is going to show up because we're going to be more confident. We're going to be more expressive. We are just going to be stronger. So whatever it is that's important for you, take care of it. Like, make sure that you are being consistent with caring for that, because that's going to give you that confidence that you need to show up and to look good and to feel good. And then that tells your whole story, right?
Yeah. No, I think that's great. That's amazing. And where do you see the industry going in the next few years? Because I feel like there's just so many new products and everything is moving so quickly. Do you think, I mean, it seems like your approach is kind of where people are going to be looking, right?
Yeah, wellness, cellular health, cell longevity, all of those topics are buzzing now.
Yes.
And it's because it's a real thing. We all want to look good, we all want to age well, and that's all important. So I think what's changing is that beauty is becoming about how do we understand how the skin actually works, what's the biology around it, what are the cellular processes that I should take care of or understand, even if it's at a surface level. But it's becoming less about quick fixes and results, and more about, well, how do I actually take care of my skin? It's a wellness approach. The other thing that I think is changing is people are understanding that it's not just your skin. It's connected to everything, like we were saying. So it's connected to your gut, it's connected to your inflammation levels, it's connected to your stress management, all of that. Sleep, all of that is emotional, all of that is mental. It's all systems that work together. It's not siloed. So what we're going to see changing more are brands that can talk about, first of all, cellular processes, and second of all, how our body all works together in order to reach one, let's say, healthy body.
Right. No, that's a great answer. Thank you so much, Karina. Mm-hmm. And now let's jump into this or that.
I love this.
All right. Minimal routine or full ritual?
Okay. Minimal routine most of the days, sometimes full-on ritual.
How often do you do a full-on ritual out of a month? Or maybe once a week?
Once a week.
Once a week, yes.
Once a week, I do more products, and then most of the time during the week, I'm just doing my simple 4.
Love that. Mm-hmm. Facial at home or spa day?
Spa day. Who doesn't love a spa day?
Yes, girl. Morning glow or nighttime reset?
Oh, I'm going to have to say both. Say both. The morning is important because it sets us up for the day. At night is when our body and our skin repairs.
Yes.
So
we sleep, beauty sleep. That's why they say they always say it's like beauty sleep.
It's so important. It's the only way our body and our skin repairs.
Clean beauty or clinical results?
Both.
Yes. Both. Silk slip dress or oversized linen?
Ooh, I love linen. I'm going to say oversized linen.
I know. I see you wearing already linen right now. Yeah. Makeup free or full glam? Or I feel like you're kind of in the middle somewhere.
Again, maybe once or twice a week I'll do more of a glam face.
Yeah, same.
And then during the week I have my skincare on. I have minimal. A lot of sunscreen, a hat, living in Florida, living in the sun, and just minimal makeup.
Yep. Same, because it just melts off your face most of the time.
And anyway, I think also there's something about getting comfortable with your natural skin that's really important. Mm-hmm. Because if we're always covering up our face, then we become a slave to that, and we're no longer comfortable with our skin the way it is. So the goal for me has always been, I want to have the healthiest skin so that I can wear the most minimal makeup or none at all and feel comfortable and confident.
That is a really great point that not many women talk about. But I agree with you. I'm on the same level. I feel like once you can really feel confident without makeup, that is like the ultimate kind of.
That's the goal. Yeah. Have a healthy,
and that happens, canvas. I think, late. I mean, I feel like that happens not in your 20s. It happens a little later. Yes, exactly.
Right. It also comes with maturity, which is why it's about everything. It's about the growth in all areas of your life.
Yep. Wellness retreat or city reset?
Wellness retreat.
Yes. Green juice or coffee or both?
Both,
yes.
Depends on the time of the day.
Hot yoga or a long walk?
Both.
Inside out healing or quick fixes?
Inside out healing.
Yes, agreed. Well, Karina, thank you for sharing your story so openly. What you've built is more than skincare. It's a reminder that beauty isn't something we apply, it's something we support. And to everyone listening, if you've been chasing quick fixes, covering things up, or feeling disconnected from your body, maybe it's time to take a deeper look, because your skin is speaking, your body is responding. And when you start listening, everything changes. And we'll share all the links to your company so you can check out this amazing beauty routine that Karina created.
Thank you.
So it was
Lovely to be here with you. Thank you.
Cheers.